Well, hello everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are going to have a fantastic Ask Epic today. It's going to be exciting. Thank you all for joining us. We are here for another installment of Ask Epic. We're meeting every week to discuss all things Epic. We want to provide new to Epic families and returning families a place to learn about all the opportunities we have and everything we have to offer. My name is Carla Smitherman, and I'm with the Epic Development Team.
Hi, I'm Ashley Brown. I'm also from the Epic Development Team. Today, we are going to be talking with the Family Engagement Department, or the Feds. They have a really cool official sounding nickname, and I love it. And we're just going to be talking about all the different ways that they support our students and our families. Kind of the big one we want to hit on today is the Back to School Expos you've probably heard about. So we're going to talk about that and a few other things that they've got cooking. But first, as you hop on, thank you so much for being here. If you have questions or comments, please throw those in the chat box on the right side of your screen down there, and we will get to them. If you have a question that is really specific, or maybe you just would like to talk more in depth or one-on-one, you can send us an email, and we'll put our email address, edt@epiccharterschools.org. We'll put that in the chat box, and you're always welcome to email us with those specific questions.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So keep those questions coming in. So today, like we have, like she mentioned, the people we have today are from the Fed Department. We have Leisha Alba and Christy Ritchie. Christy Rich. Oh my gosh, Christy. I guess I gave you. I changed your name, but anyway. We're very excited about this team, this great, wonderful team that has started with Epic. I guess what last year? Am I right about that? You all can kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but there have been so many exciting activities I saw last year from the suitcase project. I remember as a teacher, what are they doing now? What are the field trips? What are they doing? So why don't you tell us a little bit about the department, introduce yourselves, and just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm Leisha Alba, so I'm the co-director, and I was an EPIC teacher for 10 years, and the department has been in inception since 2011, so this is our third year. No, sorry, 2020, yes. So this is our third year. It seems like yesterday when we started, but it's exciting. We are starting our third year, and we have been busy. We've had a lot going on. So, and thank you for mentioning that. And we're so excited for all the opportunities we're offering this year for all of our students and our EPIC caregivers and families. And then Christy Rich.
Hi, I'm Chris Rich, and I'm the other co-director of the Family Engagement Department, or the Feds. Yes, we started September 1st of 2021. So September 1st, here in about another month, we will be celebrating, our third year, which is kind of exciting. Leisha and I have been here with Epic since the day the doors opened. So we're one of the, I think, 14 left OGs or originals here at Epic Charter Schools. So we have definitely rode all the waves and seen and done it all. And we feel truly blessed to be able to be a part of this department and the creation of this initiative to think of all the possibilities and ways to truly engage our EPIC families and students, help them develop little sense of communities and friendships, and all that we can offer to facilitate that. And it's really exciting.
Awesome. Well, we're so happy you guys are here, and we really appreciate everything you're doing. And we're excited to learn more about what you're doing because I know there's a lot in the book. So just to kind of kick us off and get started, it's hard to believe. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but it's August now. I don't know where the summer went, but as we have the start of August, that means back to school time is approaching. School starts August 21st. 1st. So there's a lot going on. And what's exciting is that we have our back to school expos to talk about. So this is something that your department works really hard. You said that's what you guys are up there today. You're kind of in your final preparation mode, working on that. And so there's going to be expos all across the state, which I think is really amazing. There's something for everyone. And it's going to be a great opportunity for families to get new information, maybe have a little bit of fun, and just maybe try to connect with some other families. So if you guys don't mind, tell us a little bit about the back to school expos.
So the expos are starting August 15th. We'll kick it off in Ardmore. And then from there, we'll be in Norman that same week. We'll have a week of no expos, and then we'll come back again and we'll be in the Glenpool, Tulsa area on August 29th, Lawton on August 31st, and then again in El Reno on September 6th, and then Enid will be our last, no, Enid is not our last one. We'll be in Enid on September 11th, and then again on the 14th, we'll be in Muskogee. So we are excited to bring the Back to School Expo to our students and families across the state. We are planning and just getting ready to help our families, our caregivers, start off the year and just have the opportunity to come and listen to some of the new things that we have to offer this school year, some of the changes and updates, and then as well as connect with some of our staff and departments at EPIC. A lot of our EPIC departments will be on hand to answer questions, and we always love having them there because that's an opportunity for our families to get to know them as well. And then also we have student sessions, so our caregivers and families can bring their children, and we have planned academic enrichment activities. And so we'll have Scholastic Book Fair at several of our larger venues, and some canned food drive. So if you have a canned food item and you would like to come and help be a part of supporting our EPIC community, we'd love for you to bring those to our expos, and we'll have a table there. And you may write a sweet message to someone if you'd like to, but we'd love for everyone that comes to bring a canned item if they can, or a canned food item. And we're kicking off the fall canned food drive just with the expos. Christy, I'll let you kind of, I don't want to talk about everything. I'll let you kind of chime in. So go ahead.
So back to school is, school can be different, right? And we've got a lot of new families and returning families. And one thing for sure about EPIC is we embrace change, and there's always something new every single year. So whether you're a new family or a returning family, you're going to experience some new rollouts, some changes, and it's important to have a successful school year to start off on the right trajectory. So that is what the Back to School Expo is designed for. The whole intent really is for the parents. Even though we've got some excellent activities and enrichment and scholastic and book school pictures and stuff for students, it really is designed for parents. We're going to teach you how to get into PowerSchool, navigate through PowerSchool, use the new scheduler system, how to now order from the Learning Fund through PowerSchool, because last year it was with Spinbridge. We're going to go over the brand new EPIC website, how to find everything, how to find the new vendor directory when you want to utilize your Learning Fund, for local activities and things like that. Then we've got breakout sessions for parents. One of them, especially for new families, is, okay, so we're doing this. We're going to try this EPIC thing. But what does a day in the life at EPIC look like? I mean, what should my schedule look like? How do I come alongside my kiddos and ensure their success? So we're going to have some training sessions like that. We're going to have EPIC. We're going to feature EPIC Ed in some of our breakout sessions so that families can understand the curriculum more, and some make and takes, some kinesthetic hands-on learning activities that they can take home and use to actually practically engage their students. We have college and career readiness coming. So if you have an 8th through 12th grader, they are going to cover everything college and career and be live, human, on hand to be able to answer those questions and help navigate those high school students in a successful manner. But then along with that, we will have EPIC departments. I think at our largest site, which is the one in Norman, I think we have 29 EPIC departments, human beings at tables ready to answer your questions and to help in any way that they can. I think I froze for a minute there, but we will have 29 EPIC departments in Norman. Now, because we're all over the state, it's different departments will be in different places, but we will have human beings there to answer your questions and resolve any issues you have. And we're going to roll out clubs for kids to get involved in. We'll be highlighting some of our upcoming field trips, community service, community outreach, all the things we do. We are just determined to help all these families get on the right path and start out with guaranteed success.
Wow, that's amazing. I had no idea we'd have as many as 30 different departments there. That sounds like,
It's
you know,
awesome.
it reminds me of, you know, in a traditional school, like your back to school night. You show up, you get the new information, and that's where you go ahead and sign up for all the things you want to do. I mean, that is so amazing. And I love that this is something that we offer because, I mean, yeah, I'm wondering if I can sign up to go into the how to log into Power School app. I think I could use that one. I think I might have to sit in there because I've had some issues in the past. But that's amazing. I do have a question. So these are just things that I think of when I talk to families every day. I hear a lot of the same questions. And one that I've been hearing is, do the parents, I know that you said there's different breakout sessions. Can they attend all of them, or is it kind of a pick and choose what you prefer to attend?
Yes, it is. We have 6 at some of our larger sites. We'll have 6 different breakout sessions, and then at the smaller micro sites, we'll have 4. So, you know, unfortunately, we can't probably. They won't be able to go to all of them, so they will pick and choose. So, if they have younger kids, they may prefer to go to something like the Make and Take or one of the EPAT sessions. But if they have older students, like high school kids, or even, you know, 7th or 8th grade, they would probably rather go to the college and career readiness because that's going to be giving them information that's related to those older students. So we do try to make sure that we have breakout sessions that serve all different age groups so that they can attend and get information that relates to them and their students. And we will be recording. So if somebody does miss a session, they can watch it online on our EPIC website later. So, and they can get all of that information if they're not able to attend.
Oh, I love that you guys are recording it because, yeah, I mean, I'm somebody that I need to go back and rewatch things. So I like that. That's a great idea. Okay, another question that comes to mind. What is your recommendation when parents have younger siblings that aren't in school yet? Is this something that you think the siblings should come, or should we try to leave them at home?
We encourage, obviously, all students at EPIC to come, which is pre-K through 12th grade, and we have activities and enrichment and things available to them while their parents are learning. However, when it comes to younger children, birth to pre-K, we do not prohibit or say that they cannot bring them, but I do think a parent needs to be mindful because they will be in a learning session, kind of like an adult classroom, if you will. I mean, very discussion oriented, but there will be some learning going on, and the parents know their kiddos pretty well. You know, if they think that they can have them at the table and they can color and do a picture and be non-disruptive, I think that's fabulous. But if they know that their child doesn't sit still well, or maybe running around, or maybe, you know, then it's probably best to have, you know, a spouse or a grandparent or a sitter or something watch them.
And sometimes what they'll do is a spouse will come and they'll kind of alternate, and maybe one will get some of the information, the other one will take them out in the hall if something happens and they're upset. And then they'll just rotate, or maybe grandma comes. So they're always welcome to come if they want to do something like that. We love the little ones, and you know, thus far we've had a great experience with having the little ones in the groups with us, but it is good to have a backup plan in case it goes awry. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for clearing that up. Because, yeah, that's just something I had somebody ask, and I kind of kind of suggested the same thing, but I'm glad to hear it. It's definitely nice if you have someone that can come with you and help if need be, for sure. Okay, I thought I had one more question. My goodness, it was just on the tip of my tongue.
About
Carla, if
money?
you've got one. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yes, there
yeah.
it is. Yeah, I was going to say, I know that they have the opportunity to participate in school pictures. Is that something that they need to be prepared to pay for then, or is it something you pay for later? Did I freeze?
School pictures are at all 7 of our locations. And you do have to register because you have to put a time in. And I believe there's a link on the Epic website to register for school pictures. But they do not pay for them at that time. They will be sent an email link with proofs, and then they pay for them depending on what they order.
Awesome. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
great. Well, we are just saying, wow, Christy, at least those are my words right now. I'm just saying, wow, because the programs and the exceptional opportunities for our families sound so phenomenal. And thank you all for all your hard work and dedication. I think I see the sweat coming off of Christy's brow right now of all the things that you guys are putting together to make our families feel, just really ready for the school year. So thank you all for all you're doing for the Back to School Expo. So now we're going to kind of transition to field trips. I think we've kind of already brought up, and I think Christy did a great job of talking earlier about community and how our families need to feel connected and how it's so important. Ashley and I are answering, and our team are answering questions all the time about socializing and connecting with other people and families and how important it is for our students to feel that way. So what a better way for our families to become connected and make friends and in a fun way with field trips. And this is something that your department is offering. So why don't you give us some options or some of the things that your department is doing in this area?
Okay, so we do have 3 different types of field trips that we will offer throughout the school year. And these are provided throughout the state of Oklahoma. So we will be traveling to all different parts of the state to create these educational opportunities for students to come and learn together. And so with this, our first set of field trips is just, we do the educational field trips. So we visit several museums and just several historical sites, some of the zoos and different places across the state where students come, and they're not just a place where you show up and you don't know where anybody from Epic is at. This is an opportunity for you to come and check in. We greet you there. Oftentimes we have a class for the students that we've organized with somebody from the facility, and they might be sharing, if it's a museum, oftentimes they'll dress up as a character and present something to the students. But there's always a learning opportunity for them. And it's also a way for them to come and meet kids from Epic. And not only do our students, the kids, enjoy meeting other Epic students, also the parents, the caregivers, they get to meet other Epic families. And it really does help create that Epic community and bring us all together. Then we have the career exploration field trips. So our career exploration field trips are for middle school and high school. And again, we travel the state and we provide these opportunities for students to come and they meet local Oklahoma businesses. And they can come in and they learn kind of all the ins and outs of what it's like to run a business. Recently, we went to the lavender farm and they spent the day, just finding out how they grow the lavender, and then what do they do with it after, and then the business part of it, and that kind of learning more about the entrepreneurial spirit. But it's just behind the scenes with the owners from those local businesses. And then we also have healthy habits field trips. And these are focused on physical activities where we try to get the students moving. And so we meet up in different locations again across the state, and we give them opportunities to engage with one another and get moving and do some physical activity together. There's something coming up soon where it'll be at the Museum of Osteology here in Oklahoma City. and they're going to do some yoga before they take the museum tour. So they'll have a whole yoga class at the museum, which I think that sounds like a lot of fun. But so that's our field trip series. We've got enrichment programs. So science fairs, geography bees, spelling bees, authors visits. We're super excited about all of those. And these are another opportunity for students to come together, learn together, but these provide learning beyond the classroom. So for instance, we also have living wax museums. So our students can come and dress up as a character from a book. So a historical character from maybe a biography, and they dress up and they tell the story of this historical character or a historical figure. And so the attendees come around and they have their boards, they decorate these cute little boards and tell their story. And then they're in these amazing outfits. And then the attendees come around and visit each one of them, and they tell the history of themselves in character, and it's super fun. We love it. We love it for the attendees. We also love it for the students. But we have a lot of enrichment activities that we're planning this year. And we are putting those in our family engagement department newsletter. So be on the lookout. So families and students that want to come and join us, those are in our newsletter. We're also putting them on the EPIC website. For teachers, they're in our EPIC One page, but just be on the lookout because there's so many opportunities to come and join in and learn together and have fun together as well.
That is wonderful. Everything you just said, I think I may have to join the yoga one. I'm sorry. I may have to sneak in. But anyway, it sounds phenomenal. Everything you just discussed, like you said, learning and growing together and doing community with each other. It sounds like it's a great time for everyone involved. I think you already answered one of the questions, which was when are all these dates going to be released? I'm pretty sure that you mentioned the newsletter, and of course, you mentioned how teachers can find out about and families. So thank you for sharing that information with us. Are they all released for the entire year, or do you do it per month? How are those dates released to us?
So we do put them out for families and students to sign up. We do put those in our newsletter, and the newsletter is released every 2 weeks. So if it'll be releasing everything that's up and coming. So and then oftentimes some of the enrichment events and things that take some planning in advance, like for a science fair, you've got to do an experiment and then plan things and then show up. So we do put those out far enough in advance where they can prepare, just like with the spelling bee. But I just wanted to say too, a lot of the things Chrissy and I are mentioning, the reason that we're offering these engagement opportunities is because we listen to our families, we listen to our students. We send surveys out after every single thing that we do, and we ask them for their input. And we want to know, how can we make it better? But what are your ideas? What are your suggestions? And so we listen, and based on feedback from our students, our families, and our teachers, that's how we design the school year. That's how we figure out what do we want to do for students. So I know that we've said a lot, we do this and we do that, but we implement, but it's all based around what our student and family and teacher feedback has been. And we really pride ourselves on that.
Well, Christy and Leisha, I guess because you all have been around a while, I appreciate that so much, you mentioning that, because I do know that I know that your department was designed as an answer for families, responding to what families have requested. And I can confirm that because what the EPIC development team has heard on some of the questions and things that they've asked us what can I how can I get my student involved, what engagement activities. So we're very happy to say we have some activities for them to plug their family and student into. So this works on all levels for us, and as you stated, we know that these families have requested this and they're wanting these things. So that's great. And I think the next question is pretty much the same as the expo, about the siblings. Can you let us know, tell us if let's say I've got a 5-year-old who might want to come with me to the zoo, is that somehow, can I bring him with me or her?
Yes. they can bring siblings to the different field trips. We know that, a lot of our families have multiple siblings. So we know that it's difficult sometimes to leave one at home and bring the other. There are some events that if it's a 20, maybe there's a capacity limit. We have to kind of be mindful of that. So sometimes if there is a capacity limit, we might have to, let the families know that we can't have siblings, but all of that is communicated in our registration. But we do have scholarships available for any student at Epic. So if we have an event, over 50% of our field trips are free, but if there is an event where there is a fee or a charge to an entry fee, we do have scholarships available so that any student in Epic can attend any activity or event, regardless of what's going on in their family or what their financial situation is. So they can just fill out the form and then we can provide a scholarship for that, because we do not want to leave anybody out of having these enriching opportunities to learn.
Very good. Thank you for that. I appreciate you mentioning that, because that is important for families if they're budget conscious for us to know know that there are some opportunities out there to help families out. Well, we're just excited that you have this as part of your the options for families. The field trips they're just an amazing opportunity for students to make friends and learn new things in a fun environment. Anyway, Ashley, I know you have some other questions about some other great things that this great department has to offer.
Yes, of course. Thank you. And so you kind of touched on this a minute ago, but I have questions, because we talk to these parents every day and we get all the questions. And so I'm so happy that now today I can ask you. I know that you kind of briefly mentioned the spelling bees, the geography bees, and I think, did you say another one was the literature or book bee? I can't remember what that was called. But for those things, a question I commonly get is, what ages is this appropriate for? So do you have a specific age range that you like to participate in those programs?
Yeah, so for the spelling bees, it'll be for third grade and up. We follow the grade level recommendations from Scripps. I'm not sure the geography bee may be for middle school and high school, but I'm not sure exactly. But that is brand new this year, so we are working out the details for that. With the Living Wax Museum, that's for any grade level. And the authors visits, we also have 2 sessions. We'll usually have one for the younger kiddos, and then we'll have one for some of the older kiddos, where they come and they meet the authors of different books. And these are local Oklahoma authors. And then we have a workshop after, and they get to learn about the writing process. And they essentially get to take a writing workshop with that author. So oftentimes those are open to third and older. But those grade levels are in the registration. So anytime one of our families or student registers for any event that we're putting on, they do have the details and the description of those grade levels for them in that registration.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for clearing that up. Yeah, because I know that's something we hear a lot, is what's available for my child in my grade. Okay, and then you kind of already answered this, but if a student wants to get involved, it's going to come through your newsletter typically, and there's like a link for people to click on and register. But if ever you have questions on that, or maybe you've missed the newsletter, I know you get a lot of emails, caregivers. You can always reach out to your teacher, and I'm sure your teacher would be happy to get you find you that registration link.
And it should also be on the website too. There is a drop-down menu on the Epic website, and that registration link is there as well. So.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, very good. Well, we're going to move right on to community service. And I have to tell you, because this is one area kind of near and dear to my heart. I love community service and I love participating. Used to love my families and students participating as an EPIC teacher. So I just love that you all have started activities for us to just hop into. I remember last year one that was amazing. I think it was Veterans Day. just because that's just such a great opportunity for for students to honor our veterans. And I just remember it being so wonderful and amazed that you all had taken the time to have a community service for Veterans Day. But anyway, especially for our seniors, just to try to put that plug in for seniors, just to remind everyone, community service, that is a requirement for graduation. But in on top of that, it's just a great way to give back to the community. Families and students, a lot of times families are looking for a way to make sure their students are being engaged and getting involved in community. And it's great that Epic now has these opportunities. So why don't you tell us a little bit about community service? And also I noticed about community outreach and some of the successful programs. I kind of mentioned the suitcase program project from last year. Why don't you all describe some of the programs that we offer, or you all offer?
Okay, so community service, we have 2 community service projects a month where students can come and join us in their community. Charlotte Conaway, she plans those throughout the school year, and those will also be in our newsletter and the Epic website. But those are opportunities for them to come out and join us in maybe it's at a food shelter, or maybe it's, at a different place, but we come together and we get to interact sometimes with the public that we're actually serving. Their family members can come. Oftentimes we have parents that come and they really enjoy that as well. But it's just an amazing opportunity to help make our community a better place. We also have community outreach. So we do have 4 different community outreach programs that we have planned this year. So we're kicking off the fall with a food drive, and we will be doing that throughout the fall semester in collaboration with Epic Cares. We will have season of serving starting in November and going through December, as well as in November and December, we will have the HUGS Military Care Package Project. So we plan to have, in partnership with HUGS, we will be providing boxes for students to bring donations, and we'll be packaging those up. And then the HUGS Project program, they'll be helping us get those to military families and veterans as well. In the spring, we will start the diaper bag outreach project. So, and Christy will be talking to you a little bit later about Epic Beginnings, but we are wanting to just help families who have little ones. Like you mentioned, last year we did the suitcase project, and we were able to help families who are students who are experiencing homelessness. So now we're kind of this year we're focusing on those little babies and little ones. Maybe we have an Epic student who has a younger child. So we're wanting to provide diaper bags to students or their children in need. And so we're looking forward to that, and that will kick off in February.
Those are so wonderful. I'm so excited for that we're helping our own. I mean, the community service can start it. All right. So I love all of those. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's really cool that we have ways those are kids of all ages that can get involved in these projects. It's not limited to just our high schoolers or this is all ages. And so I think that's really great. Okay, I know this is something you touched on briefly earlier, but we were talking about the Healthy Habits, that program. And I know that if you've been on the Epic YouTube page, which I've already said, if you haven't yet, you should. You might have seen something called the Healthy Habits Cooking Show. Do you want to tell us a little more about that program and that cooking show we've got?
Christy, do you want to talk about that one?
So we all know that when we consider the whole child, that there's more to academia than reading and math. I mean, science and social studies, writing, those are absolutely valuable. But if a student isn't healthy, physically, emotionally, all of that, they're not well fed, if they don't come to the table prepared, it limits or puts a kink in the ability to really retain information because their mind is elsewhere. And so we just really are trying to encourage our families towards health. And that doesn't mean, we're going to ask you to run a marathon and, count your calories or something, but, just kind of general lifestyle changes. And so we have several ways that we're doing that. The first is the one you just mentioned in YouTube, which is our Healthy Habits cooking show. And what I love about this is in partnership with one of our phenomenal student Epic News Network, which is our student journalism team. So it is hosted by students. The students cook. The students are behind the scene. The students are scripting, they're editing, they're putting this show together. So we're creating future journalists. At the same time, we're trying to encourage health with inexpensive, few ingredients, easy to prepare, healthy home meals. If you can prepare a meal for 4 for less than $10, that's way better of an option than eating out, which costs a whole lot more. And these are things that students are actually preparing during the cooking show, which encourages that other students can also get in the kitchen and prepare these things at home. But our Healthy Habits initiative goes way beyond our cooking show. We are also this year rolling out physical activity spotlights. So not all students are designed to play football, baseball, gymnastics, all of your traditional sports. I mean, we have all kinds. We have an esports team that is phenomenal, by the way, like state champions. So the sports and activity can look very different for each individual. And so we are going to be rolling out physical activity spotlights this year, where we're going to go around the state and just kind of introduce our families to options for getting out and getting physical. We may go see Irish dancing or circus arts or jousting or fencing. Who knows? All kinds of ways to get out and have some fun, but all featured right here in Oklahoma. So there's a way that a student could get to it and do it. But even beyond that, we are involved in various fun runs around the state, little 5K runs, which again is part of that community service and outreach because it's philanthropy and, helps us engage in our communities and support very worthy causes. But guess what? It's also encouraging our families to get out and run or walk the whole 5K. And then finally, we are going to be having 2 physical activity focused field trips every month. And these are not field trips that are designed around academia. These are going to be field trips like rock climbing or, the Boathouse District in downtown Oklahoma City, where the whole design of the field trip is to get out and get moving. So we are really excited about engaging our families and encouraging them towards, some lifestyle changes to be just a little bit healthier.
It's so great. I love hearing how it's true. We hear it at Epic all the time that we're worried about more than just a student graduating high school and having good grades. Like it truly is about so much more than that. It's about getting in their community, having healthy habits, finding a skill for after high school. Like it is so much more than that. And it's fun. I like to see Epic put their money where their mouth is as far as offering these programs, because that all sounds great, but like you guys are really doing it and giving students these opportunities. And I just applaud you guys. That's amazing.
I know that is really exciting. I was going to actually tease Ashley and say, okay, which one of those are we going to challenge each other to? But I think I'll just wait until after we're offline because she might jump in and say the rock climbing, and I don't know if that's the one I want to do. So
I think yoga is more my speed. Count me out for rock climbing and marathons.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I was going to say maybe we could walk the 5K, Ashley, but it's okay. It's all good. I'm all in for participating in community. I'm all in for everything that you just established and discussed, especially with the healthy habit part. I do believe in the whole child and healthy mind, healthy body, right? So these are exceptional activities that we're offering our families. So anyway, moving forward now to the next initiative, an area right after my own heart because I'm a former SPED teacher with the SPED engagement. Of course, we've talked about this 1 out of 5 families that are coming to Epic are SPED families or SPED students. And, I love the fact that you are offering some tools and resources so that we can have better outcomes for our SPED family. So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the programs or some of the resources
Well, we are trying to
that
be
for
more,
families?
we want to be more intentional about including our SPED students in all aspects of our engagement at Epic. This year, we're going to have sensory bags at our events this year. So these bags are for anyone at our events that have something, maybe they become overwhelmed or need extra help just to kind of self-regulate. And then we also will have a QR code where they can check those out. We have several of our larger events. We will have sensory rooms for students if they just need a minute, or if they need, more time just to kind of just have a minute by themselves if it's needed. Mark Williams is leading this charge, and he's also a former he was a former SPED teacher, and this is a huge passion of his, along with Lauren Williams. We're also going to have several field trips designed specifically for our SPED families this year. Mark is also working with Special Olympics to have a Special Olympics kind of day for our students as well. So we're excited about all of this, and we're so thankful that we have team members that this is their passion, and they're leading this charge. So, and we would love to hear from teachers if you guys have suggestions, or even families, of ways that we can provide and be more intentional about having more opportunities for our SPED students to engage.
Well, those are wonderful that you've put in place so far, the sensory bags and the other, the filters and everything so far sounds wonderful. Sounds like a great way to get us going. So thank you for those. So I will definitely keep in mind, and if I come up with something, I'll definitely pass it on to your department. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
anyway, well, Ashley, I know you have some other questions for them.
Yes, of course. Thank you. So I have here a list of some other things that you guys are working on, and I'm just gonna ask you about them if you just want to tell us a little bit about what they are. I have here, it says we're doing something called STEM Day.
So, in collaboration with our science fairs this year, we are going to have a STEM or STEAM day. Growing up, it was STEM for me, and now it's STEAM. And so I say both because depending on who the listener is right now, if I said STEAM, they might not know what I'm talking about, and others might not know what I'm talking about when I say STEM. But it's basically like a science enrichment type of day. So, in collaboration with not only our science fair projects, but Jen Robinson's team with all of their STEAM clubs, we are also going to bring in outside vendors to do science enrichment, hands-on experiments, activities, and learning. So it's this giant collaborative effort that is focused around science. Just think of a day of science in all aspects that we'll be having those throughout the state, I believe in February of this year. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, the next one I have written down is graduations for 5th and 8th graders.
So one of the things, because Leisha mentioned earlier, we keep our ear, to the families. We literally are engaging with families on a daily basis, students, families, caregivers, and the like. And just like she said, what dictates what we offer is often because of parent request. We believe that, we need to serve these families in the best way we know how. And I will tell you, out of all of our surveys last year, we sent out over 120 surveys because we send one out to attendance after every event, right? So the number one reply was, why don't we have a kindergarten, a 5th or an 8th grade graduation? It doesn't take long to closer to graduation. We get on the, parent Facebook page or something to see people going, well, do we have those graduations for the littles? So this is something we're really proud to roll out. We are going to do regionally based graduation ceremonies, not just a singular one, but for each of the quadrants, right? We are going to do a kindergarten, a 5th grade, and an 8th grade graduation, which is a total of 12 graduation ceremonies, by the way, because multiplied by 4. But so they're not going to be as big as like a graduation ceremony for seniors, because we are going to keep them more local and privatized, more quadrant based. But we are going to get those littles in some cap and gowns, and we're going to honor them for each of those transitions into elementary school, into middle school, and into high school. And our families are super excited about it, because it during last year, that was the #1 request that we received.
I was going to say, I bet you've got a lot of parents that are doing a little happy dance for that, and probably teachers too, because in the past, there's been a lot of EPIC teachers that would kind of sponsor their own graduation. So I bet there's a lot of happy teachers. So that's great. Okay, the next one I have written down is the Worldview Art Project.
Alicia, why don't you cover that one?
Okay, so the Worldview Art Project is, it's a project where you kind of, students they create a piece of art that reflects what they see themselves as in the world. And it can get really creative. Like there's a lot of different variety of ways for them to express themselves. And so it will be offered virtually. And Shannon George is going to be sending out some information about this soon. But it's just kind of how do you see, what is your perspective on the world, and how do you view yourself in the world? And it's just a creative way for students to express themselves. And this is our first year to offer this. So we're super excited to see kind of where this goes.
Awesome. That sounds really great. I can think of there's probably a very large group of students that will be excited for something like that.
Yes.
Okay, this next one I'm really excited about, and I'm already thinking in my head of what is my talent, so I can start preparing to embarrass myself in front of everyone, but it's the virtual talent show.
Yes, we've had the virtual talent show in the past at EPIC. It's not something new. It's just something that our department's doing new to us this year. But we have some incredibly talented students around here. Incredibly. I mean, you don't have to be at EPIC long to see them perform at graduations and ceremonies, and some of them are famous. I mean, it's just amazing. So it's going to be a virtual talent show where they have to basically record their talent, and then we will air that and give awards and that sort of thing from a virtual perspective. But I think we're all excited to see all the talent that our students show this year.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Hopefully we have enough talented students that I don't feel the need to get on and embarrass myself as well, because I'm not nearly as talented. But okay, the last one I had written down on my list was a school carnival.
Okay, #1 request this year was kindergarten, 5th, 8th grade graduation. #2 request through this whole last year of surveys was, why don't we have a school carnival? Like, your classic either back to school or end of the year celebration. So we are going to have the end of the year school carnival. One will be held, I believe, at Quest Church in Norman, or it might be here in Oklahoma City. It's somewhere in this general area. And the other one will be held somewhere in and around the Tulsa area. And think of a good old-fashioned school carnival full of, cornhole, silly little games, maybe a dunk tank with some special people. Maybe a pie eating contest, your old fashioned school carnival with some blow ups and things of that nature. So it will be kind of an end of the year celebration to celebrate, another successful year at EPIC, and bring us, together as a community to say hoorah.
Sounds like a great time and a great way to actually in a great year. But I can understand why that was #2 on the list. I really can, because some of I had some great times at school carnivals with my children and my students over the years. So that's going to be fun. I'm so glad that we are bringing the carnival to EPIC. That's going to be fun. But anyway, so now we're going to turn our attention to initiatives that are focused on assisting our students in the education realm and some other areas. And I really, I keep saying I don't know what we're more excited about, right, Ashley? Everything that you are doing is just going to be such a great impact for our families. But these are exciting. We're going to give time to describe each one as we list them. These programs are just going to be so dynamic. I'll let Ashley kind of begin to list those for you, and you all can discuss them for the audience right now.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So I think I have 4 written down here. The first one that is kind of just newly announced was the Epic Beginnings program. Do you just want to tell us kind of what that is and who that program is meant for?
Okay, so I will have to say that we have a phenomenal superintendent, because this was actually an idea that he had and said, hey, do you think this is possible? And so we had a team of people, not just from our department, from across Epic, that kind of a pilot planning team that came together monthly last year and kind of rolled out the idea of what this would look like. But Epic Beginnings is for birth to pre-K, birth up to the entrance of school. Think of it kind of like Epic's own Head Start program. And so it is our intention to come alongside families of Epic that have younger children that aren't in school yet. And we have a reasonably high populace of teenage moms who also have young children. And we want to support these younger children and help give them the resources and the training to know what maybe is developmentally appropriate, different ways to engage their child, to develop a love for learning and a sense for learning while in the home, prepare them for school. We also will be partnering, like Leisha said, with our community outreach with Charlotte Conaway to do the diaper bag project, where we will fill age-specific diaper bags. I mean, obviously, if they're birth to 12 months, that diaper bag will look very different than one that was for a 3-year-old. That would include not only just some supplies and some help, but also some educational, maybe a book or an educational toy, and of course, an Epic t-shirt, toddler size, or an Epic onesie that says I'm a future Epic kid. So we just really want to come alongside these families of littles and do everything we can, again, focusing on the whole child, to get them prepared and well equipped to starting school on the right track.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. I love the idea of a little tiny Epic
I
t-shirt. That just is
know.
so cute. What an
What a great
amazing
way.
thing. I mean,
That is
wow, that
awesome.
is just an example of, I think, Epic going above and beyond. I mean,
I
I'm
agree.
always impressed every year. And I mean, we're on the forefront of what is the best for our students and how can we innovate for them. And that's just, wow, that is
Yes,
really exciting. The
awesome.
next one I had written down was our new Pathways program. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so Pathways is another program that our superintendent, Bart Banfield, this is another passion of his, was to, he called it bookends when he referred to the Epic Beginnings, which is that 0 to pre-K. And then this is our 21 to 25 year old program. So any student in Oklahoma who would like to continue or have a second chance to earn their high school diploma can apply for the Pathways program. And we have Misty Klein and Heidi McReynolds. They're happy to give information and help any student who would like to join our program. We have 2 mentors who are there to help just help our 21 to 25-year-olds set goals and explore options for career opportunities, or career tech, or just kind of try to tap into some of their interests for what they would like to do following their program. So once they get their high school diploma, what is their next step? What would they like to do next? So we have a program built just for that. We are at 50%. We have 100. We have a capacity of 100. So we do have 50. So there's still 50 more spots. So if you know someone in the state of Oklahoma, or someone that's aged out of Epic, a former student, just please let them know that to reach out, and we'd love to help them earn that high school diploma.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm really excited about that. I had a student that I talked to a few months ago that felt like they were out of options, and were just saying, what can I do? And I had just found out about this program, and it just felt so nice to be able to have somewhere to send them. So that's great. Well, I think we're getting close to our time. So is there anything else that you guys wanted to mention today that you haven't had a chance yet?
Now,
The
I
only
just,
other initiative I wanted to roll out, have you guys talked at all yet about peer tutoring and what we're doing with peer tutoring here at Epic?
Nope.
Okay, so peer tutoring is, long and fast, something that has been in education forever, and we all know that it works. A teacher, a parent, an adult, an advisor can tell a student something 20 times over, and sometimes it just takes someone that speaks their language to kid language, to fully understand the concept. And so we rolled out peer tutoring last fall with a very soft pilot with 10 tutors and 30 students. By the spring semester, we had over 40 students and over 40 tutors and over 200 students. And we started partnering with universities. What we found is that after COVID, universities are starting to realize in their education programs, developing future teachers and making their teachers future ready and in demand, that COVID, one thing it taught us is that all teachers need to learn how to teach online. Because when you go through an educational program, you learn obviously how to teach in a classroom and classroom management. But it kind of rocked our world when every teacher found themselves teaching the way we do at Epic. And there was not a lot of preparation. It was a sink or swim type thing. So universities are coming around with, wow, we probably should have a practicum to teach these future teachers how to teach online. Well, guess what? We have a peer tutoring program. So not only do we have amazing high schoolers that are coming alongside to teach these students 3rd through 8th grade as a peer tutor, but we've now collaborated with 2 universities this fall who are going to bring their educational department and use our peer tutoring program as part of their practicum so they can learn to engage students and teach them online, which I think is fabulous because not only do you get the just general what we think of as peer tutoring, where the student actually learns a little bit better, because it's the same tutor week over week. It's not a different person. They develop that relationship, someone that can speak their language. But then those high school tutors get that leadership and that planning, that goes into it, and that it's something they can put on college transcripts that they were a peer tutor in high school. But I love the fact that we are collaborating with universities and our future educators are using our school model to prepare them for whatever the future may hold in education. If some type of pandemic were to hit again or whatever, that they would be far better prepared to engage and ensure their students' success. And so it has grown. This fall, we should probably have, I think, over 350 2Ds. Those are the ones being tutored because of the amount of high schoolers and collegiate collaborations that we are developing.
That is wonderful. That is so fabulous. I love to hear that. I just can't tell you all how amazing everything you've discussed today. I have to say, one of the things, everything I've heard today, it sounds like the Fed department has helped us to have kind of the pulse of what the needs of our Epic community. And really, you all have just shown us by all the diverse activities, the various options that you're offering, that you all are on it and that Epic is on it. And so we just really appreciate all the hard work and effort and energy that you're putting in every day. So basically, Leisha and Christy, thank you so much to you and your hardworking team and everything that you are doing every day to make our families feel appreciated and valued and listened to, and that you're plugging them in and connecting them to activities that will help their families grow and learn on a daily basis. So again, we thank you so much for being here, part of our Ask Epic today. So we want to make sure everybody remembers, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at 405-749-4550, extension 489, or you can email us at edt@epictv.org. epiccharterschools.org. If you have any questions about anything we've discussed today, again, you can email us or call us. I know that Christy or Alicia would love to answer anything that they discussed today. But again, thank you guys so much for everything you do. We just had an amazing, this was a great Ask Epic. I just can't tell you. I think it was jam-packed with information. I know our families are going to benefit from this time today.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having us. It was such a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you guys are providing such a valuable service for our families. So
I
we
know, it's
appreciate it.
wonderful.
And I want to say too, thank you to everybody for tuning in. If you didn't get to
Yes.
watch the whole thing, don't stress because this is recorded and we're going to post the recording on the Epic website on the FAQ page. There will be right there. And so you can watch all of our past webinars. And tune in next week. We're going to be talking about the first day of school, or really the first week or weeks of school, what to expect, some more tips and tricks for setting your student up to be successful right from the start. So thank you so much to everybody for tuning in and helping to make this happen. And come back next time for Ask Epic.
Ask Epic. Bye-bye,
Bye.
everybody. Have a great day.